I really didn't plan on doing a new rant video anytime soon, but Sony, you pissed me off. DMX, hit it.
Let's get it on!
Alright, so Sony announced backwards compatibility for the PS4 with the PS2 system, so as a retro collector, I'm pretty stoked on that. That's an interesting feature, and something that I'm looking forward into trying out, because hey, I got a bunch of PS2 games. Who doesn't? Everyone has a bunch of PS2 games. But Sony, you did it all wrong. I don't understand how you don't understand backwards compatibility, considering you did it well with the PS2 to PS1, and decently with the PS3 to the PS2 initially, until you remove that feature for the system. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. I have a copy of Need for Speed Underground here for the PlayStation 2. How much would you pay for this game? $3, $4, $5, maybe max $5? How much do you think the PS2 games are going to cost on the PS4? $15. That doesn't seem right to me. Not at all, especially when you look at some of the titles. Grand Theft Auto 3, that's literally a $2 to $3 game. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, or whatever, Vice City I think it was called. And once again, that's a $3 game. So that doesn't really sit well with me. And what's the appeal? Why would you buy this game digitally? Well, because it's upscaled and it has trophies. Trophies? Are trophies really that big of a deal to charge $15 for essentially a $3 game? Maybe if there were some more rare games like Haunting Ground on there, something like that, I could get behind this. But right now, all you're showing me are pretty common games at a $15 price point. But that's not that big of a deal because, you know, I could always play my PS2 discs now, can't I? No, I can't? Bishop Bullwinkle, do you think it's a good idea for Sony to not allow me to play my PS2 discs?
Hell no. To the no, 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 yeah, to the no.
We don't argue with Bishop Bullwinkle, because he knows everything. But seriously, why is this not a thing on the PS4? Why can I not play my PS2 discs? Oh, because you can make more money that way for recharging for these PS2 games at $15 a pop, instead of using my PS2 discs, which I bought for $1 to $2 at any yard sale, at any retro store, on eBay, anywhere. You can literally get these games for dirt cheap. And that's what pisses me off. You could have done this backwards compatibility right. You could have made the whole PS2 library available through emulation. You're gonna tell me that you cannot instill some emulation on the PS4? This is a monster of a machine. Of course you can. Hell, you're emulating the PS2 games. You're not running natively on the hardware, it's using an emulation system. So why the hell can I not play PS2 games on the system? It's just insane to me. And plus, once again, I have to go back to these titles. Remember, Grand Theft Auto 3 came out on the PlayStation 2, was then re-released on the PS3, and now is being re-released on the PS4. But I can't even use the PS3 copy if I bought that because there's no PS3 backwards compatibility. Why? Because you're doing all these remasters. Now, I'm not a Sony hater. I think the PlayStation 4 is a phenomenal system. And maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm alone in this. But this backwards compatibility just seems terrible. And as a retro gamer, I hold companies to a higher standard. And that's kind of one of the biggest problems with this whole situation. I went over and looked at the announcement trailer for this, and it has over 10,000 likes with only 1,000 dislikes. And people that were complaining in the comment section were just droned out by other people who were like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, at least they're giving us the games. Why don't we hold these companies to a higher standard anymore? Nintendo pretty much gets it right. Sure, the Virtual Console is pretty sparse in terms of selection, but $10 for an N64 game? Okay, I can get behind that. Being able to play my Wii discs on my Wii U? Perfect. Xbox, Microsoft listened to customers, and now they're putting Xbox 360 games where you could play the disc on the Xbox One. So why is Sony being so stubborn and hard-headed? If you're trying to compete with the Xbox One with this, why? You're way ahead in terms of sales. If you're trying to appease your fans, why are you doing it so wrong? I'm not a Sony hater. I think Sony makes phenomenal hardware, but this decision just doesn't sit right with me. But am I alone in this? Am I crazy? Am I just wrong in this whole situation? Please let me know in the comment section below, because sometimes I feel kind of like the odd man out. People say, oh, he's just the old gamer, you know, he doesn't know anything. But I just hold these companies to a higher standard. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like it, subscribe to my channel for more stuff like this. Leave me a comment below. I don't like talking about the PS4, but this is, you know, getting into retro territory with the PS2, which I consider a retro system. Also, one final thing, if you dig the Street Fighter shirt, which I know you do, make sure you check out Blue Marble Apparel. I'll put a link to this shirt in the description box below if you want to check it out. Special shout out to them for hooking me up with this t-shirt. I'll see you guys next time. Later.